Hi guys, my name is Rowlands and I'm a nutritional balancing practitioner. Now this video is going to be a bit of an expanded video from the video I did yesterday, for any of you that follows my videos in chronology. Yesterday I just did a video, 10-minute video about NoFap for all the guys out there that struggle to watch long videos, but unlike a lot of YouTubers out there, I don't really believe in doing every video super short because there's just so much information to get out there. I know that I personally like to listen to things in depth, so hopefully this video is going to talk a little bit about masturbation, mainly for men and for women, and the reasons why you should abstain and stop altogether, because it's basically a wasteful addiction. So the first thing obviously is that it depletes fluids, it depletes sexual fluids, and basically anyone that's had the experience of fluid depletion, especially when they're feeling sick, they'll realise that it really makes you feel depressed, drains your energy, makes you feel lethargic, confused, up in your head. And a lot of guys actually don't realise it. You know, you hear about this general tone of, you know, guys after sex they just want to sleep and, you know, perhaps have a cigarette or whatever. In reality it's because there's been a massive energy depletion, both, you know, in a physical standpoint and actually in more of an esoteric spiritual standpoint, where the sexual energy that guys and women have gets depleted, and it is life force. You know, they say that the root chakra is a real direct connection to God, and it is. I believe that kind of masturbation really detaches you. It's one of the biggest things that detaches you from spirit, from a spiritual outlook, from God. It really does. I know it sounds esoteric and out there if you don't believe in any of this stuff, but when you become more developed and you start understanding this, you'll begin to realise that it disconnects you, because you've just lost this certain life energy that you just can't really get back. You can't get it back without just rest and rejuvenation. And a lot of the times you're just on this constant hamster wheel, just going over and over and over and over. Yeah, because you just kind of ejaculated and then you're going to wait a few weeks and do it again. And it really disconnects you, lowers your grounding, and makes you kind of spaced out and heady, which is not nice at all. You know, another thing is, you know, masturbating and watching pornography. You're not living in reality. It's just not realistic to be watching things like that. It's not what love's based on. You know, as much as you'd like to think that's the case, it's just it's a very low energy, low vibrational, lower third chakra way of thinking about love. Love's much different to that, and it's much more about higher connection. So, you know, stopping that habit is really important if you want to kind of keep being real, just being real to yourself, being real to humanity, you know. And just like living the truth, you know, you just got to kind of kick the habit. It's just living in a fantasy world. It's also degrading, you know. It's degrading for women, you know, watching women, degrading watching men. It's not how you treat women. It's not how you treat a man in some cases. You know, like, it's, as I say, it's lower energy chakras. And you need to be getting out of that mindset as quickly as possible, because it's really going to speed down your development and your healing and your own respect for yourself, and understanding what it takes to love other people on more of a higher friendship, deep self-respect level. Other things that happen when you masturbate a lot: it makes you age, it greys your skin, it greys your hair, it you know, it just increases your kind of, because you're lowering your life force, which is used to, you know, everyone has a certain amount of life force within them from when they're born, and basically that life force gets drained as you age, and masturbating and ejaculating is one way of just reducing that life force, that chi energy, that chi, ether, prana, orgone energy, whatever you want to call it. It's, you know, it's a quick way of removing it, reducing it, and it makes you age. And no one wants to age quicker. We all wanna you know, have a slower aging process for obvious reasons. It can cause a lot of irritability. You know, usually this is on a biochemical level. People that are low in zinc tend to be more irritable. High in copper. Copper's a stimulant, especially a stimulant of the brain. And yeah, it causes irritability. If it puts you in a fight or flight, or things like 4 laws, we know there's a pattern on hair mineral analysis called the 4 law pattern, where the first 4 macro minerals, calcium, magnesium, sodium and potassium, are below their ideal levels. That can make you feel super irritable, mainly because magnesium and calcium are really low down, and it's something that you don't want to experience, because it just makes you feel incredibly depressed and irritable. It's a little bit like being stuck outside in the winter without a jacket on. Your body just isn't protected. It doesn't have them protective minerals, because you're losing a lot of fluids. Loss of vigour. You know, you haven't got that spark, you haven't got that vigour for life. It's something you're going to have to push through when you've got that vigour, because when you've got that vigour, when you've got that spark, you know, when you're aware, conscious, you know, you often appear more sexually attractive to other people, because you've got more energy, and you're giving off an energy that's quite attractive to the opposite sex. You're going to have to push through that and realise that you're not here to waste your fluids. You're here to, you know, be a man, be a woman, do your duty, do your mission, be strong, help the earth, heal the earth, spread love. And, you know, by losing fluids, you just can't do it. Trust me, I've tried to burn the candle at both ends. Doesn't work out. Other problems for men, and I'm sure you've already heard this: prostate problems. The prostate is very sensitive to zinc depletion. So yeah, I think I heard a really terrible statistic, like 1 in 3 men these days get some sort of prostate problem. One way of kind of overcoming that is obviously keeping up your zinc reserves, and the best way of doing that is basically, you know, one of the best ways of doing it is stopping sexual fluid depletion. Anyone that's got skin problems, acne, eczema, psoriasis, is all related to zinc depletion. So anyone that's suffering from any of them, any guys out there who's masturbating a lot, losing a lot of fluids, just realise that that's one of the reasons, is because zinc and copper are very well connected when it comes to the skin. And anyone that's suffering from any skin problems and is doing that, I would advise them to stop straight away, because it's just going to be making the problem worse. As I mentioned before, damage to the lower chakras. So your lower chakras are your root chakra, your sexual energy chakra, and your kind of solar plexus, which has a lot to do with manipulation and power. Really damages these lower chakras. These are lower human chakras that most people today live in. That we want to get into the higher chakras, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the pineal gland, the third eye, the crown. These are higher levels of thinking, and a lot of people don't live in them these days. They just live in the lower 3. So basically what you want to be doing is figuring out what the upper 4 are all about, and try and live a lot more from them, especially in relationships with women and with men. You need to be building your relationships more on friendship, more on shared creativity, more on shared service to the world, rather than sex and wanting to manipulate the other person, and survival needs, which is related to the lower 3 chakras. I am going to do a video on this in the future. I've already written it down. It's going to be a long one. It's talking about the 7 energy chakras in relation to love. Really helpful for anyone that's struggling with the idea of what love means, because it's been perverted by the current powers at be, especially the media. It's addictive. It's an addiction. An addictive behaviour often has been linked to friendships, and a lot of people that don't have high quality friendships, who are on their own a lot of the times, disconnected from God, tend to get addictions more. So that might be something to look into. The best way to deal with addiction is to understand it. So check out Dr. Wilson's article, Dr. L. Wilson Addictions, and it'll give you a much clearer understanding of what addictions are all about, how to break them. Try and find healthy, strong connections with other people. Try and get closer to God. That's what this 12-step process is all about, in things like Alcoholics Anonymous, etc. These people that suffer from addictions, connection, that's what it's all about, and it does help you overcome it. It weakens your willpower. It just kind of gives you a bit of shame, gives you guilt, because you're lowering your zinc, because you're lowering other vital minerals. It stops you from being willful, it stops you from moving forwards. When I've stopped ejaculating and my zinc is high, my testosterone's high, I feel a little bit like a locomotive train. It's just built of steel. It's not brittle. It just kind of plows through everything, and in a healthy way. It's not in a destructive manner. But it just gives you this ground, this power. You stand upright, you're confident, you have a lot of will to move forwards and make a difference and do what you need to do. Have control over yourself, have control over situations. So that's something that everyone needs to develop if they want to become a high quality person, is the power of will. And yeah, definitely helps if you stop the habits. It's a waste of time. It is genuinely a waste of time. They say that we've only got one thing really in our life, and that's our time. And as you heal, as you understand the truth more, you'll realise that we've been lied to, we're ill. There's a lot of fixing to do. We've got to fix ourselves. We've got to fix our friends and family sometimes, if they're open to it. We've got to fix the world. That's our job really. Our job is to fix ourselves and then fix the world. And that takes time, especially when you've got all the other things going off in your life. So it's just a waste of time. It doesn't serve anyone. It doesn't serve your mind. It doesn't serve the earth. It doesn't serve the vibration that we want to get to on earth. So it's just a good idea just to nip it in the bud and move on basically. It slows down emotional maturing. Interesting one. A lot of men today are just not mature. The older I get, when I was a kid, I used to look up to all the adults, looking forward to being an adult, blah blah blah, and then now I'd fairly mature adolescent. I believe adulthood is more 30s, so I'm a late adolescent, and I do get comments actually from my friends on how mature I am. A lot of people don't realise how old they think I'm way older when they speak to me, and that's because a lot of it has been ill health and understanding the truth and building your maturity and building your willpower and questioning things, building character by going through healing reactions, all increases maturity. I look at a lot of guys now, a lot of adults, and I think, whoa, you are not mature, and you just don't see it when you're younger. But then the older you get, the more you realise that, yeah, family members maybe, or father figures, as great as they might have been, you realise there's a lot of aspects to the personality that are just not mature, and you're like, man, you're 40 or 50, where's your maturity, man? Where has it gone? And I believe a lot of it is related to what I'm talking about. There's many other factors involved really, but this is an aspect, and it does mature you a lot quicker and more stronger. Lowers your testosterone, obvious thing. No one wants to lower the testosterone. The testosterone is the male hormone. It's what makes you feel like a man. That's nothing against women, but males are higher in testosterone, women are higher in estrogen. It's the difference between men and women. You give what the body is designed to eat, and that you do what the body, you do the lifestyle that the body is designed for, and the body will biochemically rearrange itself to normality. You see this on hair analysis results, and then when that normalizes, you're like, wow, man, I feel more like a man, and yeah, I mean, again, I've had comments from people who saying, like from women, like you actually act like a man, and you smell like a man. I mean, bizarre comment. What have we got to in the world where women are actually like shocked at the fact that they've come across someone who acts like a guy? Do you know, like, what's all that about? It's a pretty insane world we must live in. So that's an interesting one. It's yin. So there's something out there called yin and yang, which is basically the balance of life, positive, negative. And most people today are too yin. Basically, they're expanded, they're up in their heads, they're victim thinking, weak-minded, and this is to do with diet, sugar, stress, lifestyle factors, etc., etc. And by retaining sexual fluid, yin and yang, root chakra more yang, crown chakra more yin. You're really grounding the body. You're making it yang. You're getting it to the ground. You're retaining zinc, which is a yang mineral. The opposite is copper, which is more yin. And just being more yang just is a much better way of being. You're more grounded. You're more aware. You can see the truth. You can call out BS a lot of the times because you're just more structured. You're on Earth, and you're more concrete, and it's just a much better way of living and being. So anything that you can do to make the body more yang, which is what the Nutritional Balancing Program does, it is basically a program about yin and yang in many respects, and it was what separates it from other healing modalities. And I believe it's the main reason why other healing modalities don't actually work out, because they don't understand the differences between yin and yang. So again, it's more yangs, great. Alright, so I'm just going to go through a few things you can do if you've got this addiction to help you out. One good thing is to get out of your own self. What I mean by that is go out and help other people. A lot of people that have got this addiction are within themselves, a little bit selfish, think about themselves too much, which is fine. It's not a problem. It's something that happens. We've all been there. But go out, help other people, reach out, take your focus off yourself. Just stop being so self-absorbed and make a difference. Go and help someone. Go and ring up your grandparents. Do they need a hand in the garden? Go and have a cup of tea with your mom, whatever. Go and help with the washing. You might want to go and volunteer, get a job, whatever. Go out and do something. Do the opposite of this self-absorption, which is giving, which is what you really should be living from anyways. Just, have the mindset of giving. Don't stimulate yourself with the pornography. I mean, that's an easy, simple one. But, if you're fantasizing about it, thinking about it, watching it, you're kind of feeding the habit a little bit, and it's going to be more difficult to stop. So yeah, just try and stop stimulating yourself with movies, games, films. Some of the stuff that you see in films these days is quite shocking. Children have been way more sexualized what there was in the past. I remember when I was a kid, we didn't have internet. I had a parental control on my computer till I was 18. If anything remotely sexual would come on the TV, my parents would turn it off. But these days, I got a little brother. He's never had a parental control on the internet. He watched everything and anything on TV. Talking about sex at younger ages at school. I think it's a little bit back to front personally. People might have their own opinions, but it's it's something that really needs to be dealt with properly and respected, and kids need to understand how to treat women. I think it's probably a good way of looking at it, how to love themselves. And just by giving the child proper nutrition, they probably won't be wanting to do anything like that anyway, because just by giving the body what it needs, it develops itself naturally, and it becomes it evolves itself naturally, and that kind of stuff isn't uninteresting when you've got a healthy mind and body. Follow a nutritional balancing program. That's what I'm all about. It's helped me. It's helped thousands of other people. You know, it continues to help me every single day. It's the most powerful program on the planet, in my opinion, at this present moment in time. So obviously, if you do want to start it, give me an email, lewis@deephealingspace.com. As I mentioned before, read about addictions. The best way to overcome an addiction is to understand it. So read about it, read Dr. Wilson's website, check out some YouTube videos. I'm sure there's some good ones on addictions. You know, try and watch our YouTube channel, mine and Luke's, just to get kind of motivated on how to live a better life, etc. Meditate, do the pushing down exercise. What it'll do is it'll distract you a little bit. It'll put you in touch with your own mind, with your own thoughts. You know, when you understand how your mind works and how your mind creates thought forms, you'll be able to overcome the addiction much easier. Alright, so that's everything. Bit of a more expanded version than the video I did yesterday. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to start a nutritional balancing program, or you'd like any help, please just send me an email, lewis@deephealingspace.com. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. If this video helps you or anyone else, please share it with them, and we'd be much appreciated. Alright guys, ciao.